Well, welcome everyone to Inbound Agency Retainer Model. So this is looking at developing paid content offers for your agency that are going to lead to retainer-based services. What we're going to cover in this training is why do you need this, what it could look like, the types of agencies it's for, and some things to watch out for. And we'll make some room at the end for some questions. My name is Clodagh Higgins and I'm a Senior Channel Consultant in Hubspot. I mainly look after the Australia and New Zealand territory, and I've been working with the company for 1.5 years. So let's get into the training. So currently, why do we need this to look at a different inbound agency model? So if we look at today, we've got a free ebook. This is the consulting that we give to your agencies and you're very familiar with it. Then that leads to a free assessment, and if you're lucky, the company will ask you to come out and pitch your business to them. And you get super excited, you go out, and before you know it, you're in a large conversation around 30 grand, maybe 100 grand, depending on the size of the company. You're talking about contracts, you're talking about negotiations, you're talking about Hubspot software. So you can see the model that we talk about today and that is in place. It goes from 0 to high stakes poker. What can happen in these situations if you're lucky enough to win the business is you get off to a great start. The customers sign the contract, the energy's high, everyone's agreeing to timelines. It's all going really well at the very beginning. But then in some instances, things can start to change. Sometimes, and I think we've all feel we've been in this situation before, there are client delays. They don't understand that getting the content to you means you can't move on to the next level. So then they start to see nothing happening, and then they start to get very discontent and wonder, is this ever going to work? I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with this in the past. So what the new model proposes here is that we're going to solve two problems. We're going to look at more paid work, and we're going to look at less bad fit clients for you. So if we look at the current inbound agency model today and we go from your free ebook and assessment, to a hire us 6-month contract, we need to put some steps in place to help you understand the client, to help the client understand the process. But instead of going from free to money, we're going to put some smaller monetary steps in place. And this is what the new model looks like. Instead of going from free to hire us, we're going to try us with a smaller amount of money. We're going to look at work with us, moving up the scale, moving up the time frame, and engage us before there's a hire us commitment. And I'm going to walk you through step by step each of these. Before we get into the paid ones though, let's look at our free offerings. So think of anything that you've been asked to do over and over again and get that into a video so that it can explain how your business works. The next thing that you might have is if you look at your sent items, you're going to have a lot of questions that you answer people over and over again. Are you always rolling your eyes going, God, I'm always answering this question. So get that question and put it out in the front of your business so that instead of answering emails, you can add people to and direct them to this page that says, that's a really good question. Why don't you check out my frequently asked questions? Especially the basic ones, things like starting off, all those things that you take for granted that you know in your head, get them out of your head and onto your website. To enhance this experience, this will also become content for you. So you could write blog posts about how you help people. Now you're moving into more of a story frame of mind. You're telling the story about some of the tools and methodology that you use in your business. So you're going to expand on the frequently asked questions, tell stories, put them into blog posts, and then you will get more organic traffic as a result of that. So now we're looking at moving through to the next phase, and I think we want to put a barrier in between. The company gets really excited and they're like, this is great, I've had a great assessment. Can you come out and meet with me? Can you come out and pitch to me? Now, in some instances you do want to get up and go out there, but in other instances you might actually put some steps in place, because what you want to do now is say, look, I'm fully booked for pitches and meetings for the next 2 months. However, I'm going to give you some alternatives on how I can engage with you. And here is a great way of starting the process of not doing free work, establishing yourself as an expert so you can move forward and assess the company and see how serious they are and see if you want to work with them. This is a free website called Clarity FM. It's Clarity FM. And what you can do here is you can create a profile for yourself about your expertise. And people can book you for 10, 15, 20 minutes. It means you don't have to go to a physical meeting, and if a company is very interested in talking to you, they will put a $50 charge on their company credit card. Now, if they can't do that, do you think they're really by you going out having a physical meeting with them is going to make any difference? So check out Clarity FM and create a profile for yourself, and this could be the next step in your try us for your agency. As another alternative, and moving up the food chain on the pricing, you could actually offer a paid assessment. This is Content Marketing Blueprint. They create white label blueprints. You can just order one yourself. I think they cost about $500, and then you can rebrand this with your own company logo, your own agency, and your own direction, and send it over to the customer maybe at a $750 or $1,000, making a profit. So it's low cost. It's not time consuming, and it gives them recommendations. If they're serious about their inbound marketing, they will pay for an assessment. Perhaps they don't want a paid assessment. They want a business strategy firm. They want an inbound marketing strategy, or they want a marketing strategy. They want to know and have a conversation with you. This is a particularly good example here of Jamie, who's in New Zealand, and he's in a remote part of the island, so he can't get in a car every time somebody wants to meet with him. So he's created a room in his office where does video conferencing. He's got a big whiteboard, he answers questions, and he has a virtual meeting, and he charges people for this. And this is the next step for him. He can't go and meet with them, and he can give them a very clear online marketing strategy, inbound marketing strategy at the end of it. And then that takes people through to the next steps. So you've had an hour working with them, or maybe a couple of hours, or you've had a phone call with them. You're getting to know the client even better and setting some expectations and assessing if you want to work with them, which means now you can ask them, do they want to work with us? Another idea that you could look at, if you constantly get people saying to you, I really want to work with you, but I can't afford your consulting fees, perhaps you could put together a group call. Maybe it's on a Friday morning at 10 o'clock where people can dial in and you cover a topic about inbound marketing and charge them a monthly fee to attend this. This is an example of an agency in Australia that has run this very successfully. People dial in, the call is recorded, then James here in particular, he can use that content and repurpose it in the future for blog posts, and he can come up with new ideas. So this can be a lower entry point for maybe 4 or 5 marketing managers that you've met in the past that go, God, I'd love to work with you, I don't have the budget. You could offer this service to them, and if you put 4 or 5 of them together, it would only grow. It means no travel time for you, and it means you're going to get access to these people to see if there's more long-term business in there available to them. Another suggestion, instead of saying to somebody, yes, I'll come out and educate you about inbound marketing, you can say, we can do an on-site workshop for you. And you can take any of the content that we've provided across the training in the partner program, go out and do a buyer persona training workshop for them. Charge them for it. You could do content creation. You could do blogging. Pick a topic that they need some help with and go out and get a fee for that. Now, the big thing about this workshop is all during the process, you need to gauge how are they reacting to you. Are they resisting every time you talk about a new topic? Can you spot somebody in the room that's going to be difficult to work with? If they're not easy to work with and they're not pliable and absorbing the information in an afternoon, they are not going to be any easier to work with on a 6-month contract. So get a good gut feeling from this. The workshop, as much as it's giving them information, it's you getting information from them. Here's an example of a LinkedIn workshop that one of my agencies in Brisbane has been doing really successfully. It isn't about inbound marketing, but it's leading to inbound marketing opportunities. So again, the customer wants a problem solved. They want LinkedIn training. You are an agency that can deliver that. And then while you're in there, you can explore bigger opportunities for your agency. Next step, after you've done maybe half a day, they say, let's engage. You can engage us. Now you can move into purchasing a 6-week strategy. They can purchase a 6-week strategy from you. How this would work would be you would have one face-to-face meeting. Now you're going out, but that's okay because you're getting paid for it. Then you could build one afternoon workshop, create an inbound strategy for them and deliver it. If you like the working with them, deliver and offer implementation. If you don't get a good feeling and you think they're going to be difficult to work with, take the money for the strategy and offer them all the recommendations to do so and tell them how they can do it. Maybe suggest you're not the right agency to work with. It's better to say no than to be sitting crying and in a lot of hassle with an agency that you're not getting on with. Another opportunity that you could do is you could offer them a 3-month campaign program. And I talk more about this on another training session that I have. So you can actually show the return on investment of a campaign. This is a screenshot from one that you can run in your enterprise portal. You can showcase Hubspot without the big commitment of signing up for a 12-month contract. You can also assess the client in that 3-month period. So these would be for bigger companies that are familiar with launching perhaps products or services on television and on radio. They all know about campaigns. So you can say to them, why don't we take a portion of that budget and apply it to an inbound campaign and let me show you the return on investment. So it's a good way of working with more traditional style larger companies who possibly will never be able to purchase HubSpot due to their IT requirements, etc. But they can be using HubSpot through your agency in an enterprise portal. And as I said, I've got a deeper training on this and how this works that you can look up in the future. And finally, we move to if all the steps are going well. So you might have done a strategy session with them. You might have done a workshop. And now they say, well, actually, we'd like to hire you. So now is the time that you put a customized proposal in front of them. You'll have done a lot of knowledge digging with the customer. You'll have understood the lifetime value of their customer. You can get the budget right, and you can really make sure you get a successful start to the actual campaign. Now that's the time when you sign them up for HubSpot because you've learned a lot about them. You've qualified them, they've qualified you. So let's kind of summarize who this is good for. If you're an agency that is really well established, so you've been doing marketing campaigns and inbound for a while, but perhaps you're getting low quality leads, this could be a really good way of looking at putting some new steps in your business. Are you feeling a bit tired? You feel maybe you've been doing it for a while that you need some re-energization, and so you want to actually send out some new offers to people going, hey, we're doing a new workshop on buyer personas. Would you like to hire us? Are you doing a lot of meetings all the time, a lot of free meetings? Are you doing a lot of free speaking? You're getting a lot of invitations, but you're not closing any business afterwards. Do you feel like you're always pitching and not winning? Are you always sending out proposals and taking hours to complete them? And are you not getting enough sales? So if there's any of these that's resonating with you, perhaps looking back over, look at putting some new steps in your business around a new inbound agency retainer model. A couple of things to watch out for this. Don't confuse the customer. So after the free ebook and the free assessment, don't give them all the steps. Just give them the next step and our 2 options. Say to them, well, you can book a call with me or you can hire me for a virtual strategy session. Don't overwhelm them. Offer 1 step at a time. And the same goes with setting all of this up. Don't set all of it up. Set one thing up, test and trial it. Set the next step up and test and trial it. So in summary, this is the whole program put together. So you're going from a free to try us, work with us, engage us, and hire us. And taking away the pain of working with those clients that really you wish you'd spent more time with before the process.